Miss Miranda. Hey, doing good.
Commissioner Fegan. Hey, how are you? Hey.
I'm fine. How you doing, dear?
Sliding back. What's up, Miss Natalie? Good evening. We're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to the City of Douglasville Planning Commission meeting. I am Francisco Artley, the chairman of the Planning Commission. The other members of the Planning Commission are Keith Burnett, the vice chair, Natalie Fegan, Nathan Zachary, Ralph Bennett, and Mark Van. The staff members are Miranda Jordan, staff attorney, Dana Gray, community development director, and Chelsea Tubbs, planning and zoning administrator, and Camille Brown, planner 1. There are a few protocol items I need to make you aware of before we start the meeting. Please listen closely on how tonight's meeting will be conducted. Keep your comments and presentation on a professional level, dealing with the facts that are important for this commission to make its decision. We will not accept comments that are considered by the chair to be a personal attack on any individual or group of people. We will receive a warning from the chair if you deviate from this requirement. A second deviation will result in a request for you to leave the meeting and the premises for the evening. Refrain from any applause or comments from the audience. Only one person will be talking at a time, and all comments will be made at the podium after the speaker has been recognized by the chair. Please direct all comments to the chair and the commission, not to the audience or the staff. Please do not applaud or react to speakers. Speak from the audience, cheer, carry on a conversation with others in the audience, or disrupt the order of this meeting in any way. Be aware that these hearings are not a debate or an opportunity to ask questions which must be answered by any individual tonight, but are merely an opportunity to present information to the commission. Other than the applicant, no person may speak more than once. The applicant may reserve part of their speaking time as a rebuttal and may speak next and last, and may use the entire 20 minutes allotted for the pro side of the application. Other than the applicant, no person may speak longer than 5 minutes. If you have a cell phone or any other electronic device, I ask that you either power them off or put them on silent mode. If anyone wishes to speak tonight, please fill out a form that's available on the table up front and hand it to the staff before approaching the podium. After the case is called, we will hear next from the staff regarding any relevant information to this case. The commission members will be free to ask questions at any time before voting on the project. Following the applicant, anyone who wishes to speak for or against the project or just ask questions will have an opportunity to do so. The city ordinance restricts each side to a maximum of 20 minutes, or time may be waived at the discretion of the presiding official. If questions are raised, we may ask the applicant to speak again. Afterward, we will call for a motion and a second and have any necessary discussion regarding the application. Then we will vote to recommend approval or denial of the application. This commission is only a recommending body. The items will be heard by the mayor and council whether we recommend approval or recommend denial. All items will be heard by the city's mayor and council at their legislative meeting on Thursday, August 28th, and then voted upon by the council and mayor at their meeting on the following Monday, September 2nd. The first item on our agenda is to approve the minutes from July 1st of 2025. Is there any need for discussion on them? Do I have a motion? All right, a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, the minutes have been approved for July 1st, 2025. Is there any old business? Okay. The first case is item 25-311. Hold a public hearing and consider a request for a change in zoning from R2 Single Family Resident Detached District to R5 Single Family Cottage Residential District for ±5.83 acres at 8763 Elm Street in Land Lot 22, District 1, Section 5. Parcel ID is 002201. B is in Bravo, 009. Application by Stonewall Builders. Staff will now present the item.
Good evening, Commissioners. Dana Grace, 6695 Church Street. Again, this is a request to change the zoning from R2 to R5. They are proposing 15 single-family detached homes. Within their site plan, they are proposing a pocket park along with a mail kiosk. That concludes.
Question for you. On your recommendation, what is this recommendation that a portion remain R2 for the existing home? What's that? Where is that?
So that is staff recommendation. The parcel is a whole parcel at the moment, but he is actually going to develop a portion of that whole parcel. There's an existing house toward the front of the parcel, so we need that to be separated so that the home and the acreage that they create from separating the parcel remains R2. Everything else in this proposal will be R5. So we didn't want the house that is existing to be affected by the rezoning.
So someone lives in that house?
I think so.
We'll ask the applicant.
Well, I'm asking him.
I think so.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
And the applicant is present.
All right.
okay.
Thank you. Will the applicant come forward and state their name and address for the record? Tell us what you intend to do on this property.
Paul Zakas, 3500 Raintree Court, Douglasville, Georgia. We plan to, a little less than 6 acres. We've had the preliminary plat done. We have met with WSA, Fire Marshal. We've met with everybody, required to get the application in. We're proposing 15 single-family homes, owner occupied. We do have sewer there, water there. Met with WSA today, no issues as far as accessibility to those items. Home prices will probably be in the 400s. Although it's a 1,200 square foot minimum, we're going to be probably at 1,600, 1,700 square feet. And I brought a couple of photos of the houses that would be similar to that if y'all want to see that. And obviously, I can answer any other questions you have.
What makes it a cottage?
Mainly, I guess probably the style of it. It's they're going to be 3-bedroom, 2-bath. There is an alleyway in the back. They've required us to do some rear loading. There is an alleyway in the back that for access, but it would probably be more of the style of the house, which I've got some photos if you want me to hold them up.
Mm-hmm. And on the house that's on the premises, the house that exists there, does
Yes.
someone live there?
Yes, ma'am. The owner of the property is here. He wanted to keep that as an R2. He is in negotiations with somebody that's going to redo that house. It's actually a family house that he was raised in. So we are not disturbing that, but he had a piece of property to the right side of it that we are looking to develop.
So you're looking at 15 cottages you want to stick on 6 acres.
Correct.
And I know we'll have to get to the variances that you're going to be asking for those.
Yep. Today actually had a meeting with WSA with Brian Keel, and our engineer was on the phone, and we discussed the variances, retention ponds, and had that discussion, and that did not seem to be a problem for my engineer to comply with what Mr. Keel asked for.
Okay.
I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
Hey, can you explain Paul, like, can you just give us like an idea of what, I mean, you said you had a picture or something. Can we look at it?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, we could see him from here. Yeah, we could see him.
yeah, I'm gonna look closer.
Okay.
Come on down.
So when you say cottage, to me, that just looks like a house.
It's like a townhouse.
Just almost, yeah, like a,
Yeah, but they're not attached. They're detached, single-family residences.
thank you.
And looks like I guess there's the alleyways run behind. That's not what, that's actually a driveway, correct?
Correct.
That runs, okay.
Fire marshal originally thought that needed to be bigger. He needed to have access to the back, but because it's only a one road going in and out, he said he didn't need it. I think originally it was 20 feet, but he said 12 feet was acceptable because he didn't need to have access to the back of the property.
Did you advertise or anything to meet with the homeowners that live in that area?
No.
Yeah.
What, was there any consideration for these to be short-term rentals at all?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
After talking with council members and having a discussion with the mayor, these houses will be priced in a range, probably like I said, in the 400 range, which is what everybody has been screaming for in this county for, it's not apartments, it's not rentals, it's not condos, it's not data center, it's single-family residence, which is exactly what we are lacking in our community.
I agree with you there, but 15 homes on 5.83 acres to me is wanting to cram a bunch of houses in one little spot, especially when we have to discuss these variances here in a minute.
What's the closest community?
I'm sorry?
I'm just looking at the map.
I have one more question.
Okay.
Hey, Paul, one other quick question, because it's really hard to see. I live right there, so
Okay.
a lot of my neighbors are here, and so I don't really understand what all this stream buffer stuff is. Is there like a little creek back there or something? Like, I don't really even know because I can't see it from.
Yeah, well, obviously there's a drainage that comes behind those houses there. but
Okay.
Like I said, I think in having a conversation with Brian Keel about it, because that was our main concern too, is there going to be water issues and state issues and things like that. But after meeting, I met with him for about an hour today discussing it, and he felt like there were no issues that can't be corrected during engineering.
So there's sewer back there, so obviously you
Correct.
got to dodge all that. But is there actually? It's just runoff. It's not really a creek or anything, is there? Or is
No,
there?
it's just
Okay.
it's just a low area.
Okay.
All right. Are there any other questions from the board? All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor of this project, ask questions, or make other comments? Please come forward and tell us your name and address. Is there anyone who would like to speak other than in favor of this project? Please come forward, tell us your name and address.
Hello, my name is Latanya Masarakia. I live at 6315 Cornelia Drive. The access to, or the house that he's talking about keeping as an R2 is pretty catty-cornered from my driveway. My driveway is right there on Elma. We were concerned about, you know, dust and noise and things like that. I'm a bartender. I usually don't get home from work till about 5 a.m., so that would definitely affect my sleep. My master bedroom is on that side of the house. We have a pool in the back, so we were concerned about, you know, dust and things getting into our pool, and just things like that. And I believe that, you know, there'd be a lot of construction traffic, the big trucks and taking down the trees and all that stuff is going to affect pretty much our way of life right there. So I'm sure that some of my neighbors probably feel the same.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak other than in favor?
My name is Barry Hayward. I live at 8847 Elma Street. I'm concerned, once you build all of those little small homes in that area, the amount of traffic that's going to increase coming in and out of that subdivision, as far as the runoff that's going to be created when you take away the trees. You already have water back in that area, and now you're going to take away the trees, and there's going to be more water. My concern is the retention pond and what's going to happen to that area as far as the water and the runoff, and all the traffic that's going to occur with that.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there anyone else who would like to speak other than in favor?
Hi, I'm Andrian Hubbard, 6268 Cornelia Drive. My main concern is removing all those trees. And there's also wild animals back there that we enjoy in our neighborhood. But the biggest part is the environment. Those trees stop probably a lot of storms that come over there. So my concern is sometimes you have those high winds, that my home might end up being damaged. And also my other concern, like you said, 6 acres and 15 homes, that's congested to me. I mean, if you was putting 1 or 2, I can understand that, but 15, that seemed like a whole lot. Thanks.
And just a reminder for all those that are coming up, make sure you fill out a card.
Leslie Chu, 8548 Lake Forest Drive, and I'm not standing up here saying I'm in favor or against this, but I do have concerns. We have 2 communities that will be impacted. The community that is off of Cornelia, the people who enter, and also the people who live in my community, which is called Lake Forest Plantation. Now, my house backs up to this property, and I am always in favor of quality development. My concern here is, some 20 years ago, me and another guy looked into purchasing this property, and there were way too many impediments to be able to purchase it, put a quality product in because of the development cost. There are lots of issues on that property. There's some floodplain, and as Brian Keel told me, you throw enough money at anything, you can make it happen. You throw that much money at something, you're not going to be building $400,000 houses. In today's world, $400,000 is a starter home. Unbelievable, but today, $400,000 is a starter home. So, I know Paul, I know his partners, I only wish him the best, but I also am concerned on what it does to the property values of our homes, as well what it does to the community of existing homes, and those people have been over there for 35, 40, 45, 50 years plus. And that's my comments. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Yes.
My name is Sandra Fisher. I live at 6235 Cornelia Drive. It's at the very end of the street. And we've been there 24 years. and every time we have a lot of rain, that area in the back floods, and it almost comes up to our house. So I know you said that that's not a creek, but it seems like it is. And I just have concerns, you know, of what that would do to those houses and to the rest of our neighborhood when that happens.
Thank you, ma'am.
How you do? I'm Oscar Denson, and I live on the other side on Lake Forest Drive. So my backyard butts up against this property. So I am not for or against the project, but I do have some concerns and questions because we don't have enough information to see what this property, what the development is going to look like. Some of those questions would be, is it a fenced-in area? Are they going to take all the woods out? Will it be a buffer between our home and the new project that's there? Anyway, if you have some type of topographic view of it, so we can see what it's going to look like, we can make a better decision on approval or disapproval.
Thank you.
My name is Elodie Nestor. I'm at 6292 Cornelia Drive. I'm pretty much reiterating a lot of what my neighbor said. I'm concerned about traffic. That area, especially during school, is already heavy in traffic anyway, so adding on 15 homes, and that doesn't mean it's one person living in each home. So you may have 2-3 people in the homes, which is going to be congestion, and I don't see why we have to have 15 homes. Like my neighbor said, we could do 2-3 homes, so that way you can still keep some trees, still have some wildlife. And I'm not an engineer, but I was informed that that area is a flood zone. So that would be my concern too, with having all those homes in that area. So I am against the project.
Thank you. All right. Staff?
I just wanted to officially reiterate staff's recommended conditions. So the applicant must submit an exemption plat application to separate the proposed R5 development, ensuring that the portion of the remaining R2 containing the existing home is compliant with R2 zoning requirements.
Okay.
So, was there a notice, put up a public notice to speak with the community?
We advertise and we put out signs. We no longer put out, mail out notices.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a sign?
It was a sign, yes.
Okay. Is there any need for further discussion on this matter?
I'll say a few things.
Okay.
I live in the community as well, and I do know Paul very well. And I know there's definitely concerns about density, and there's always concerns about density when there's construction. I think it's a cool design. I mean, I definitely would love it if there was 1 or 2 less houses. I think we all would love that. It is a low area. I do know that, you know, in these sorts of things, builders and developers are held to all kind of stringent rules and regulations, because once you touch the dirt, then you got to obey all the rules. So, you know, something like this might actually improve the water situation because there's really no choice. You know, so I know that there will be no harsher people to deal with than my wife and my next door neighbor who is on the city council. So, because we actually live in this area, so, you know, I would definitely love to see it less dense for sure. But I do, you know, people have property rights and they have the ability to do what they want to on their own property, and we just have to be cognizant of that. So, I think it's a cool way. It's the best thing I've seen so far for this piece back there. So, I just want to bring that up.
All right. Do Do I have a motion regarding this application?
I make a motion to deny. There hasn't been a conversation with the community. And it's.
Okay. Do I have a
it's
second?
lot of houses on it.
To deny.
I make a motion to deny.
All right. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Natalie?
Yeah, I made the motion.
Oh,
Aye.
yes. All opposed?
Nay.
All right, the motion passes and the application is recommended for denial, and it will be heard by the mayor and city council at their legislative meeting on Thursday, August 28th, and then voted upon them by at their meeting on the following Monday, September 2nd. So we'll continue to the second. I'm sorry? Oh. The second case is item 25-312, hold a public hearing and consider a request for a variance from section 3.06.b as in Bravo of the Unified Development Ordinance to reduce the minimum side of the yard setback from 7.5 feet to 5 feet on a lot of plus or minus 5.83 acres at 8763 Elma Street in Land Lot 22, District 1, Section 5, Parcel ID 0022015B as in Bravo, 009, application by Stonewall Builders. Staff will now present the item.
Again, this is a variance request to reduce the side yard setback on both sides of the house from 7.5 to 5 feet on 5.83 acres. That concludes.
Okay.
And this would have been for each individual house?
Correct, each lot, individual lot.
Each lot?
Yes.
So then, not approving that would allow for less housing? I mean, would encourage less?
Not exactly, he might just,
7.5.
he just might have to do either stay at 7.5 or propose a maximum possibly, but it wouldn't hinder the development.
Okay. Does anyone have any other questions? Thank you, sir. Will the applicant come forward again and state their name and address for the record and tell us what you intend to do on this property?
Paul Zakas, 3500 Raintree Court, Douglasville, Georgia, 30135. Yeah, so in today, you know, I'm a real estate agent as well as a developer, but in today's market, people don't want big yards. It's just not, so we're asking for that variance to be knocked down from 7.5 to 5. Gives people smaller yards. If you have a single mom with a couple of kids, they can afford a property like this. They may not have access to lawnmowers and things like that, so that's why we're requesting the smaller side yard setbacks.
Okay. Are there any questions? Thank you, sir. Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor of this project, ask questions, or make other comments? Please come forward and tell us your name and address. Is there anyone who would like to speak other than in favor of this project? Please come forward and tell us your name and address. So just case in point, if you already filled out a card, you don't have to fill out another one.
Good evening, my name is Gwen Noyles, and I live at 8873 Van Sant Street. And I'm here to comment on what Mr. Zakas just said about, he assumes, I guess maybe that's the trend now in real estate, that people don't want big lots. That may be for some, but you can't assume that everyone doesn't want a big lot. And I would imagine they want smaller lots so they can put more homes. Some people like larger lots, some don't. But I think it's unfair to say across the board that people don't like large lots. My property sits on an acre and a quarter, I'm sorry, 3/4 of an acre. Those homes in that neighborhood, I think they run at least a half an acre. So, again, I will say that putting 15 properties on less than 6 acres, that's overkill. Maybe 2 or 3 homes, yes, but 15, I'm definitely opposed to that. Thank you.
How big was the lot gonna be again? Is there anyone else that would like to speak other than in favor? Sir, how big are the lots? Ask the developer, Paul, how big are the lots?
The minimum lot size is 5,000 square feet, and the market will dictate, you know, the sale of the houses. So when folks say, I know some people want big lots and some people don't, but the market will dictate that. Just like as far as the value and development cost that Mr. Chu said, you know, the market will dictate that. So if development costs cost more, the homes will be, you know, that they will sell for more. So, you know, the market dictates what we're doing. It's not a, you know, that's just how it works.
Okay, thank you. Is there any need for any further discussion on this one? All right, do I have a motion regarding this application?
I make a motion to deny.
All right, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion passes and the application is recommended for denial and will be heard by the city's mayor and council at their legislative meeting on Thursday, August 28th, and then voted upon by them at their meeting on the following Monday, September 2nd. The third case is item 25-314. Hold a public hearing and consider a request for a variance from section 11.03.E as in echo, .4 of the Unified Development Ordinance to reduce the minimum alleyway width from 20 feet to 12 feet on a lot of plus or minus 5.83 acres at 8763 Elma Street and land lot 22, District 1, Section 5, parcel ID 00220115, B as in Bravo, 009, application by Stonewall Builders. Staff will now present the item.
Yes, this is a request to reduce the minimum alley width from 20 to 12 foot. It has been reviewed by our Fulton County Fire Department, and they are in approval of the 12 foot. The alleyways are to the rear of the property at the top of the whole property, which consists of 5 units, and the other one 5 units, so it will run behind those proposed homes. And the remaining parcels do not have that requirement, and they will be front-facing garages. So the garages would be at the rear. And that concludes.
So you said the fire department were fined with 12 feet,
Yes, yes,
even though pretty much everywhere else is 20 feet?
yes. So they approved based on how they can access that area, so it was accessible to them based
You
on
said
this
the
site plan.
Fulton County?
No.
Fire
Did I? I might have by mistake.
Yeah.
Douglas County, yeah,
The
sorry.
Douglas County, the fire department.
I might have said that, sorry.
So they're fine with reducing the variance on the alleyway from 12 to 20 in
From
this.
20 to 12, yes,
20 to 12 in this small area.
yes.
That's behind, only behind,
Behind the homes
where is that?
to the north.
Right there.
Just that line.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Will the applicant come forward and state their name and address for the record and tell us what you intend to do on the property?
Paul Zakas, 3500 Raintree Court, Douglasville, 30135. It would it would lot 6 through 10 that back up. And like Mr. Gray said, we talked to the fire department, and the reason that they're moving it from 20 to 12 is because they don't have to take a fire engine behind that area to service it, because it's a one-lane street. So it just doesn't make sense to make it any wider. 12 feet is plenty for a vehicle, because those will be rear loading.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. On the, for him? Yeah. Okay, we have a question for you, sir. I'm sorry.
Sorry. I have one quick question. So
Yes.
the street, Elma Street's gonna just continue on at the same width that it is now, is that correct?
Correct.
And then the streets that you're proposing that snake through the development, are they gonna be the exact same width or less?
They'll be,
Will they match? Is it the same width, do you know?
yeah.
Okay,
The only thing that changes is the width of that alleyway, because
Okay.
if there was another row of houses behind it and fire services had to get behind that, they would have to be 20 feet.
be wider, okay, yeah.
So, okay, that's a good question with the.
Because the street is nice and wide. You know,
With the
that's a fact.
size of, that you're saying that the streets are gonna be as normal, because I look at this little area, and I'm thinking the back part of it, is that a parking lot, or is that a turnaround, or is it
The back of 6 through 10,
that butts up on, is that
On in front of the storm
5 and 6? Yeah, 5 and 6, right before the storm water pond. What is that? Is
Yeah.
that
5 or 6 will be front entry. So that 5 and 6 will face. You're talking about the stormwater.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a turnaround. That's a road that goes left and right. If you look,
Okay.
you see the width of it, and then it drops down to 12 feet at 6 through 10 on the alleyway.
But what I'm saying is, that's basically, from what I look at, it just, you can turn right back up and come back out, right?
Correct.
And then left, so then residents, are they gonna start using that back alleyway then? Or is that gonna be dirt, is that gonna be paved, or?
No, that'll be paved. Lots 6 through 10 will be rear entry houses.
Okay, so okay,
Yeah. So the front door of 6 through 10 will face the street, will face the road.
okay.
with
So
the ro-
this reduction is only for lots 6 through 10?
That's
On the
correct.
back half.
And those are the
Well-
lots that the fire department agreed that it would be okay to do it on?
Yeah, 6 through 10 and 11 through 15.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So then, why doesn't this, and this is, I guess, for staff, why doesn't it say that specifically for 6 through 10 and 11 through 15? That way, it would be more specific as to not apply to the entire.
It's on the drawing. It's on the plan.
Yeah, but that's not what we're voting on. We're voting on this statement here.
So you're asking why it doesn't say it 6 through 10?
Yeah, we
Oh,
could
'cause we would-
specifically say, or it's just can we make if we were to vote on it, can we then make it be a condition that it's just for those?
Oh, it based on the site plan and the visual, it can't apply to anything else on the site plan.
Okay.
So, because the other 1 through 5 are definitely front-facing garages, so it can only apply to 6 through 10 and 11
Right.
through 15.
Yeah, but this is a proposed site plan, so they could change it, right? To make other ones rear face. I mean,
No,
can it or
they-
can it not?
They would not be able to,
Mm-mm.
no.
Okay.
Because there's a requirement, there's only a requirement 60%
Right.
of the units have rear facing.
Okay.
Most, the feedback that we've gotten,
So they can hear you.
the feedback that we've gotten previously on the R5, it used to be all units had to have the rear garages. The council last year changed that to make it only where 60% did. Most developers, the feedback has been, they would prefer not having to do back alleyways at all. So they have done, it appears on this site plan, the maximum number of front don't require a back alleyway to access a back garage. They've done the maximum number of those that they can under our current code. So the alleyways are a city requirement because of the back access to homes in R5 zoning designation.
What about 11 through 15? What, are those front loading garages?
The back.
Rear?
The rear.
They're rear. If it has an alleyway, it's because
rear.
there's rear
Okay.
garages.
So all of that would be 12 feet then,
Me
from
either.
20 to 12 feet is what we're looking at a variance.
Yes.
And so when you come in, as you were saying, for the fire trucks, because there's the fire trucks that can get around, and I'm thinking, because I'm watching the new development in Timber Ridge go up by Benton House, and those houses are next to each other, no yard. The garage is basically on the road because the little driveway is barely big enough for a car to park. And so people are parking in the street, because I go running through there now, and I'm starting to see how it's getting congested. And I'm thinking here, I'm looking at this, you're having to have variances with for the fire truck. I'm thinking UPS, FedEx, Amazon coming through here, and then people going straight and then zipping around on this back alleyway to come out. And then if you got cars parked on these streets because they don't fit in their driveway.
So it's just the garages would be in the rear. They'll still have your typical front door, so you'll still be able to access from walking on the sidewalk to the front of the house.
So the variance from 12 to 20 to 12 feet for the back part of those houses, since the front of the house will be on that alleyway, that's where Amazon.
The front won't be on the alleyway. It'll be the garage.
Okay,
Yeah,
that'll be the garage,
The
okay.
front,
Okay.
yeah, throughout the whole development, you'd have the same front facing, except for 1 through 5, you would have garages on that front facing elevation.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Is there anyone who would like to speak in
More than
favor of this problem? Sorry?
I'm just, nothing.
Speak in favor of this project, ask questions, or make other comments, please come forward and tell us your name and address. Is there anyone who would like to speak other than in favor of this, I'm going to say variance? Please come forward and tell us your name and address.
Andrian Hubbard, 6268 Cornelia Drive. I want to know how come I didn't get to look at that. Couldn't I make a better informed decision if I got to see what the plan looked like, as opposed to just showing up a meeting because somebody happened to put a sign in the yard?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Is there any need for any further discussion? Do I have a motion regarding this application for a variance?
I'll make a motion, we approve the application for the variance.
Is there a second?
I second.
All right. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, the motion passes and the application for the variance is approved and will be heard by the city's mayor and council at their legislative meeting on Thursday, August 28th, and then voted upon by them at their meeting on the following Monday, September 2nd. The fourth case is item 25-315, hold a public hearing and consider a request for a variance from section 9.01 of the Unified Development Ordinance to build part of the development in the stream buffer on land lot of plus or minus 5.83 acres located at 8763 Elma Street in land lot 22, District 1, Section 5, parcel ID 00220115, B as in Bravo, 009. Application by Stonewall Builders. Staff will now present the item.
Again, this is a request for a variance to be able to build part of the development within that stream buffer. It is just for grading only. There will be a little bit disturbance during the building, but it would be graded back to its natural state. That concludes.
Okay.
Can you help us understand where that is?
Okay, that is near lots 1 through 5. And you'll see the dashed line that is going through those rectangles, which represents the lots. The homes that are to the south of the street.
All right.
So no structures will be within that buffer at all.
So if there will be no structures in the buffer, why are we?
Because
going
they'll
on
be,
variance to build?
they'll be disturbing it, so they're asking to be allowed to disturb it and put it back to its natural state.
So, are you talking about lots 3, 4, and 5, where there are those angled lines?
Yes.
It's hard for me to see the whole thing.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
It looks like at lot 3, 4, and 5, it's right in the middle of the house.
Yeah. that's
Just, maybe they're not building there. I'm just trying to understand, because I know that's a question.
I'll let the applicant explain further.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Will the applicant come forward and state their name and address for the record? Tell us what you intend to do on this property.
Paul Zakas, 3500 Raintree Court, Douglasville, 30135. So yeah, Mr. Van, lots 3, 4, and 5. You know, in developing, putting the roads in, bringing dirt in, making the elevations correct according to what our civil engineer is requiring, he said that we will be disturbing that area of lot 3, 4, and 5. But there will be no structure, no concrete, no permanent structure on that property. It'll be graded back to its natural state. So elevation could change on it, but it'll be back grass, trees, just like it is right now. Which means the houses, you were talking about in where the houses will be on the front of those lots, closer to the road. So that'll be backyard, basically, where that area is. That'll be landscaped.
Well, if the house pretty much takes up the lot, I don't see how.
No, if you look at lot 4 there, that lot is 50 feet wide. These houses are probably in the 25 to 30 foot range. So you've got your side yards. Again, they work with what we're proposing.
Hey, Paul, what about front to back?
Front to back, probably 40-foot range. Yeah.
So is it safe to say?
And if you look, the lot, on lot 3, there's 112 from front to rear.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at a 45-foot lot, holding them to the front is not going to be in that buffer.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to help everybody with the visual. So like maybe where the numbers 3, number 4, number 5, the house is not going to go back past that. Is
No.
that a safe assumption?
That's correct.
They can't even see the development. No, they can't even.
It'll be front loading like the houses the pictures that I showed you.
All right.
Well, once again, my question is for staff and maybe for you. Could we not specify that as a condition? That the land is disturbed to build and then put back to its natural state?
The engineering plans, when we have the full set of engineering plans that's approved by everybody, will state that, and we'll have to be held accountable to what's stamped and done by the engineer. So, I mean, we're going to have every municipality looking over our shoulder to make sure we're doing exactly like we get it approved.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the variance that we're voting on, how we vote on it. If we're voting on something to have a variance, can we also make specifications?
Yes, you can. You can pose a condition that no structures encroach into that buffer.
Yeah, so that's what we should.
Miranda, is there a specific way we should talk about that?
I would just make a motion to, if you were going to either, to approve approve the item with the condition that this.
No structures inside the stream buffer or anything like that.
All right. Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor of this project, ask questions, or make comments? Please come forward and tell us your name and address. Is there anyone who would like to speak other than in favor of this project? Please come forward and tell us your name and address. Is there any need for further discussion? Do I have a motion regarding this application for variance?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like make a motion that we approve the variance, but we put a stipulation on it that says that no part of the structure is actually going to be in the stream buffer.
Okay.
And also that whatever ground is disturbed is put back to its natural state.
All right.
Yeah, agreed.
Who
Is that
seconded
clear enough?
All right. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion passes and the application for variance is recommended for approval and will be heard by the city's mayor and council at their legislative meeting on Thursday, August 28th, and then voted upon by them at their following meeting on September 2nd. All right. Are there any staff reports? None? Okay. I think I would like to make a recommendation before we adjourn, since we don't have any other business, that the developer get with the community there to actually show them what you plan on putting there, so they have a better idea before you go to city council's meeting on August 28th. Because I think by just sticking a sign and then what has been proposed, it's a lot of opposition. Yes, sir.
Paul Zachis, 3500 Raintree Court, Douglasville. One of my partners did reach out to Mr. Chu because we knew that his property backed up, so as a courtesy to him, and he seems to be everybody's go-to as far as Lake Forest goes.
Right.
We have no, I don't know if is there an HOA in your subdivision? So
No, there isn't, but you said Mr. Chu, right?
Yeah.
Seems to be the go-to person, but it seems we have a lot of residents here who are not exactly happy about what's going on there. So, I mean, he may be the go-to person, but you have a lot of people here that.
So how do you propose that I handle that?
That's what you need to work with people that are here.
You're here today, get their names and phone numbers.
Yep.
Okay.
That is our recommendation.
Okay, thank you.
All right. If there is no further business, I make a motion that we adjourn. All right. Thank you.